I went to college at Kent State, which is only an hour away from where I live.
Kent or Ken?
Kent.
Oh, okay, Kent State. Okay, what did you study there?
So I went to school for fashion merchandising.
Okay.
Yes, and I graduated in 2020, which was, right when the pandemic was happening. And I remember I was a bartender at the time. And the day that we closed the bar, we were all like, okay, it's going to be like 2 weeks, whatever. And I was honestly just freaking out because I'm like, this is my source of income right now.
Right.
And I was trying to save up money so that when I graduated, I could move somewhere. And then, it turned out it was not 2 weeks, it was 2 years.
So crazy.
Yeah. So during that time, then I graduated and I moved to Austin in July of 2020. So I've been in Austin for almost 2 years.
Wow. Wait, what prompted you to move to Austin?
Yeah, so this is my claim to fame, my origin story. For anybody that's followed me from the very beginning, so basically when I was graduating college, I knew that I wanted to move to Austin. I had lived in Austin the past 2 summers working for Sherry Hill, doing an internship for her.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. And even that, in the moment, I was like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing I've ever done. And I've always thought, if I can work for Sherry Hill, why not just be the next Sherry Hill? And I've always wanted to have my own brand. Not that I ever imagined that I was going to be at, doing fun on weekdays, but I always kind of thought I had a lot of experience in different areas in merchandising and marketing and social media, that kind of stuff, but I didn't know anything about advertising. So when I was graduating, there were no job options at all. And I came across this LinkedIn post for a job at TikTok. It was based in Austin, their brand new office.
So crazy.
Yeah, and I stayed up all night making this resume. It was super cute. It was very branded. And I went to go submit it the next morning, and the job posting was deleted. So I had the same reaction. And I was just really upset because I'm like, oh, this is my one-way ticket. This is my way out. And I just knew that the job was for me. So I picked up my phone later that night, and I had no followers on TikTok. I think I had 800. And I made this video. It was a resume essentially of just kind of recapping what I had submitted. And I was like, yeah, TikTok, do your thing. And I guess in my mind, I was like, you know what? I could message them on LinkedIn. I could email them, but they're not going to see it. So what better way to get their attention than just on the platform? So then I ended up getting the job at TikTok, and I just started taking people through my life, I guess, through the interviews, and then moving to a new city, and then making friends. And I was single for a good amount of time, and then just life in general. And over time, I mean, it's just crazy. There's a lot of people that have followed me from the very beginning, but then also other stages. So a lot of people have followed me after the fact and don't know that, but that is really when I started, I guess, doing social media on the side. Yeah.
That is such a cool story. Yeah. I feel most people sign up to do social media. They're like, okay, how can I go viral? How can I blah, blah, blah. But it's cool that you were just you kind of fell into your lap, and it's more organic that way.
Definitely.
And also getting to work for TikTok was probably really cool. Did you really love that job, or what was that like?
So the irony about it was because I got this job so publicly, I felt like I had a lot of pressure to have this dream job, right?
Oh, yeah.
When I made the resume TikTok, nobody had done that before. So Business Insider and Access Hollywood and all of these different media outlets started writing about me, and they wrote it in the way that Jenna Pallet gets her dream job through TikTok. And I think just knowing that a lot of people were kind of envious of that job, I felt a lot of pressure to actually enjoy it.
Oh, yeah.
When in reality, I was not fulfilled in any way by my actual role, and it was just not what I had expected.
Yeah.
And so I worked there for about a little over a year, and I think throughout the second half of it, because I did work from home, which is really, really incredibly difficult, I just kind of realized that I wasn't liking what I was doing from 9 to 5, and then I just owed it to myself to enjoy what I was doing outside of my job, and that's literally where Fun on Weekdays kind of originated from was, okay, well, I don't like what I'm doing all day, but that doesn't mean that I don't have to like what I'm doing all night or doing something in the morning that is making me excited to wake up the next day for work. Versus just living the same day over and over and over again, waiting for Friday at 5 p.m. to go do something fun.
That is, wow. And I guess you could look at someone that's working at TikTok and you're like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. But I love that you're honest, your honesty of just being yeah, no.
Yeah. I mean, at any company, right? You can look at, I also worked for a really well-known a fashion company that is very like trendy right now in college, and everybody looks at like the name of where you're working and they're like, oh wow, you're so successful, like that's so cool, I'm so jealous. But you just kind of forget like the actual company culture, and maybe some of the companies that don't sound as like pretty and sparkly are actually just so much better for you. And so I try to keep that in mind when I'm like comparing myself to other people, and not getting like down or jealous or anything, because you really never know. And I think that was a good kind of example, was when I was there and people thought it was great, but it really wasn't what they thought it was.